Am I the asshole for kicking my friend out of my house after what she did? My M36 wife passed away 2 years ago. I have a 11-year-old son named Sean. I'm doing okay with money. I have a stable income and support system. I have a friend named Kate. We've been together since we were kids. She's like a sister to me, although she tends to boss me around. She's introduced me to her female friends hoping that I'll settle down again. I told her I have other priorities and I'm required to focus on Sean and his health. He's diabetes. Kate thinks there's something wrong with me, but not everyone's circumstances the same. I started noticing a pattern in her behavior after she introduced me to a friend of hers. She'd tell me to leave Sean at home when we hang out and meet her friends. She'd tell me to take down any pictures that have my son and wife in it because ladies will assume that I'm a single dad or still married, and that'd limit my chances in dating. I told her to knock it off. And she said that she was looking out for my social life, saying I'm ruining it and exhausting myself. I stopped talking to her for days. Then I decided to let it go. She's been insisting on bringing her friend to visit me with other friends. I agreed to have them as guests. Kate suggested I take Sean to stay with a relative since it'll be adult dinner, but I refused. He was comfortable in his home and didn't wanna go. Kate was at my place before her friends arrived. I checked on Sean and told him to tell me if he needed anything before he went to sleep. At 12:30, while I was sitting and just starting to chat with Kate's friend, while Kate kept blinking at me with a smirk on her face, I got a text message from Sean telling me he wanted to use the bathroom but the door handle was stuck and he couldn't open the door. I went upstairs to check. Kate followed me. I found that the door was actually locked. I was confused. I asked Sean and he said he didn't lock it. I started looking for the key. That's when Kate quietly handed it to me, saying she took it. I was stunned. I opened the door for Sean, then I asked her why she locked the door. She said that lied to her friend about me not having kids and didn't want her to see Sean. She said it was no big deal since he was sleeping, but I was furious. I started yelling at her as she kept shushing me. Everyone started leaving after I yelled at Kate and cussed her out for doing this. She blew up after her friend left and said I was an idiot cause most people don't mention kids until after months into dating. And that I didn't deserve her help to move on when she thought I was a decent, sane person. I called her stupid and told her to get out of my house. She told me to wallow in my misery and left. Then her friends kept blaming me for making a scene and treating Kate like that, especially since she cooked dinner and helped a lot. What the actual fuck? Not the asshole, and you won't find anyone saying otherwise. Who locks a kid inside a room? And behind their parents' back too? You need to cut off Kate completely. She doesn't understand. No, wants you to pretend your son doesn't exist and is spewing off lies about dating etiquette. You absolutely need to disclose if you have children or not from the beginning. She told me to wallow in my misery and left. No friend says that. She's the miserable one. Focus on yourself and your kid and do whatever is best and comfortable for both of you. Not the asshole. She basically wanted you to pull a bait and switch on any prospective partners, and we all know that's an asshole thing to do. Not the asshole. I'm sorry for your loss. What Kate did is inexcusable. She literally locked your child in their room in their own home in a bid for control. Absolutely not. You need to burn the whole damn apron, not just cut the strings. What if there had been a fire? Cut Kate out of your life for good. Endangering your child's welfare is not a way to help you or move on from your wife's untimely passing.
Not the asshole. Your friend is showing the behavior of a psycho. Who locks a kid in their bedroom? Why is she so obsessed with you dating? You are only 36 yo and still grieving. It is not a good idea to lie about your kid. If they can't handle you having a kid, then clearly they aren't the one for you. I know you and Kate have been friends for a while, but no way would I let her around my son again.
Not the asshole. Because ladies will assume that I'm a single dad. But you are a single dad. You and your kid are a package deal, and any woman who wants a romantic future with you needs to that up front. Kate trying to pull a bait and switch makes her a shitty friend to both you and her other friends she trying to set you up with. Not the asshole, and OMG. She locked your child in his room. WTF? What if there had been a fire? Cut her out of your life. She is not really your friend, and she's a horrible person to have around your child.
Not the asshole. Kate endangered Sean's life by locking that door. If there had been a fire or carbon monoxide or an intruder, he might not have been able to get out in time if he had to text you and wait for you to come upstairs. Not the asshole. She is someone that should be in your rear-view mirror, a part of your past. I was a single mom for several years and everyone that I met learned that I had a daughter. I didn't allow them to meet her, but they knew that she existed. Not the asshole. Kate is not your friend. If she can't respect that being a parent is part of who you are and anyone who wants to date you must accept that up front. Lock the bathroom door. Who the fuck does she think she is? I would have lost my shit on her too. Talk about an entitled asshole. Editing to ask, did she lock him in his bedroom? I thought you meant the bathroom. Holy fucking shit.
Not the asshole. Kate is not a person you want in your life. Sean is part of who you are, and if a woman has an issue with that, then it's going to be someone you don't want to date. This bait and switch that Kate is trying to pull won't come to a good end for anyone. It really just makes no sense. I have a child isn't something you spring on someone after months of dating. It should be something the person preferably knows initially or, barring that, after a date or two. No one wants to be blindsided with something like that.
Not the asshole. What the hell? There is something very wrong with Kate. She is far too invested in your love life and it's just weird. Locking your son in his room is a line in the sand. She potentially endangered him. Yeah, it's a tiny chance of a fire breaking out that night, but the chance is never zero. Also, in dating, if I were with a person 6 months before they mentioned a kid, I'd walk. I tell partners about mine immediately cause I'm not interested in wasting my time or theirs if kids are a deal breaker. I'm sorry for your loss. I hope you find peace and joy in the future and that you and your son have healthy and happy lives.
Not the asshole. Kate clearly is. She's trying to help you in a way, but damn, she's absolutely going about this the wrong way. Her trying to hide your son to the point of putting him in danger. Also, side note, being open about being a dad is totally going to filter out people who don't want to date a single dad. And that's the point. Why would you date someone who is not okay with dating a single dad?
Not the asshole. What the fuck is wrong with her?
I don't understand this. Your son's bedroom has a key lock that can be used to lock your son inside. Why? Info. Why is Kate so invested in your love life?
Not the asshole. What if something worse happened to your son? This is a severe breach of trust and she is not someone you need in your life.
Not the asshole. That is super messed up. Did she think he wouldn't complain or yell when he realized he was locked in? And that would make more noise than simply him using the washroom? She's both evil and dumb.
Not the asshole. I'd hate to see how your enemies treat you. Sorry for your loss and I hope you are grieving well. I really hope you have a better support system than this supposed friend.
Huge. Not the asshole. What if there was an emergency and you couldn't get his door open? She has no business dictating what you tell potential romantic partners. If I were dating, I would be livid if someone waited till we had been dating for months before telling me they had kids. That's pretty important info to disclose at the get-go. What if who you were dating didn't want to have anything to do with kids?
Not the asshole at all. It was already over the line to ask you to pretend you didn't have a serious relationship or a child when meeting new friends, but to lock your child in his room while she is a guest in your home is appalling. Not to even mention the safety ramifications of locking a sleeping child in an upstairs room.
NTA. You are right. I don't deserve your help, because I've specifically asked you to not give it. I am glad we are finally on the same page.
NTA. Christ, what a mess she is. Block her. Remind everyone that she locked your kid on his room and lied about his existence. She's garbage.
Not the asshole. Also, she is not your friend. She is advocating lying and endangered your child. I don't care how long you've known her. She's not worth keeping around. Not the asshole. If someone locked one of my kids in their room, I'd kick them out too.
Not the asshole. Are you seriously asking the world if you are the asshole for being upset about your friend locking your child up and lying about their existence? What? Dude, grow a set or balls. Not the asshole. That is horrifying. That woman is not your friend. And who TF waits months to mention they have a child? Your son is not something to be ashamed of or act like it's a strike against you. The right person will love both of you and would want to see how you parent. And a decent person would be horrified if you hid him at all. Chin up. You don't need friends like her.
Info. Why does your child's bedroom have a lock with a key from the outside that he can't unlock from inside? That's a huge hazard.
Not the asshole. What the cinnamon toast FCK was she even thinking? And what's this fixation with pushing your kid out of the picture? Seriously, don't take any more advices from this woman.
NTA. I'm a single mama due to losing my husband 2.5 years ago. I miss certain parts of having a boyfriend, cuddling and such, but I am not ready, nor do I believe my daughter is ready to have me introducing new people, like boyfriends. My mother and sister have made plenty of comments about me dating, but I either ignore it or tell them I'm not ready or I'm focusing on school, child, job. I feel like if I'm meant to find someone I will, but not by serial dating, especially if it messes with my daughter's schedule.
Not the asshole. That is incredibly dangerous and stupid what she did, but beyond that she's just generally a terrible person for pushing you to something you don't want to do and trying to misrepresent your situation to potential romantic partners. Move on from this, friend. A lot of women are extremely abusive and pushy with sex and relationships but never get called out for it. You did nothing wrong. Please don't let that girl back into your life. You shouldn't be forced to meet a new person, and this is incredibly upsetting.
Not the asshole. What I don't understand is why you let it get this far. The minute she told you to start leaving your son at home and take pictures of him down in your house. Why didn't you dump her right then and there? Because it's obvious that she doesn't care about your son. In the packet that you invited her and her friends over to your house makes me question whether you were the a-hole. But your actions to what happened with your son with the locked door is totally understandable. But I don't blame you for that. I do blame you for letting it go this far, which makes you, which is it a whole move.
Kate is clearly willing to trick you and torment your child. If you don't protect your kid, who will?
OMG, you need Kate out of your life stat. What if there was a fire or an emergency? What if Kate forgot to unlock the door, give the key back, and your son was having a low? She is potentially deadly. Put your son first and get that toxic bitch out of your life. And P.S. as a single mom, if someone does not mention their kids right away, I'm done. The kids need to come first. I need to know you are a great parent first and foremost. Kate is not your friend. She's a manipulative, sick narcissist.
Not the asshole. Time to cut this toxic waste out of your life. This doesn't make sense. Most kids do not have a deadbolt on their bedroom door. If it was a normal key lock, he would have been able to unlock it from the inside.
Not the asshole. I don't like kids and find this endangerment. Also, why wouldn't you mention kids if you decide to date? That's a dick move. They have the right to know whom they are dating and if they want to take the responsibility of a person with kids, and you deserve somebody who likes you and your kid, not somebody who thought you were single.
Once, at age 6, I got up to use the bathroom and found myself locked into my room because my mother had gone out to party. I will never ever forget the panic and helplessness of that moment. Fuck her. Not the asshole.
I have a hard time to believe that there are people like this. In case there are, not the asshole. Do I need to elaborate? Most people don't mention kids until after months into dating. Now I am confused. Were you dating? Apart from the fact that the statement is incorrect. I didn't deserve her help. This statement, on the other hand, is technically correct. By Kate. Now I wonder how she manipulated you into thinking that there might be a remote possibility you are tar.
Not the asshole. Kate is not your friend. I would never allow anyone in my home that trapped my kids in their rooms. What if he went into a diabetic coma and she lost the key? She is awful.
Not the asshole. Kate is possibly a dangerous psychopath though. Sounds dramatic, but who locks someone else's child in a room and doesn't tell anyone? And then lies to people about, well, everything really, that has nothing to do with her? Also, thank you for being such an awesome dad to your son. It's heartwarming to read of such good parenting when we see so much awful stuff on here. Not the asshole. Kate is not a good friend and not someone you want in your life. She locked your son in a room alone without telling you. What if there had been a fire or some other emergency and he couldn't escape? She cannot be trusted, and I wouldn't want to date a person that someone like her tries to set you up with. Date on your own terms whenever you're ready. Don't take an ounce of advice from this unstable woman.
That's not a friend. That's a control freak with too many issues to count. Not the asshole, and ditch that friend.
Not the asshole. She locked your son in a room in an attempt to hide the fact that he existed so you could be dragged into a gotcha situation for a prospective dating partner. She's demanding you hide evidence of your past relationship and very current child until the person you're dating is emotionally invested. That's manipulative and the exact wrong way to enter a partnership. I wouldn't be surprised if Kate does subversive, underhanded crap in all her personal relationships. Oh yeah, did I mention she casually locked up a child with a medical condition like that wasn't bananas? Because that's bananas.
Not the asshole. Kate sounds like a horrendous human being.
Not the asshole 100%. What the fuck, she locked your diabetic son in his room. Thank God he had a phone. How could she not consider that in the event of an emergency he couldn't get out of the room? You had every right to curse her out, and if you never want to see her again, I think it would be completely justified.
My favorite part was when she thought it was cool to lock up a child and push you to hide your personal life from a woman for months before yelling surprise and springing your son on her. Not the asshole. Time to review whether she should be in your life at all.
I am not a fan of kids. Avoid them as much as possible. I'm still not evil enough to do what Kate did in the name of helping you. She has ulterior motives. And your kid is part of the package with you, period. End of story. You're not the asshole and should tell him all why she's in trouble. It's her own fault.
You are very much not the asshole. She lied to her friend about you, locked your son in his room, and keeps trying to set you up on dates you don't want? Yeah, she's in the wrong. Not the asshole. That could have caused some much severe emotional distress for your son. She's insane and way too invested in your love life. Her friends are crazy too. It's cool to lock a child in his room. She totally cooked and stuff.